everyone, and welcome to the premier Brazil Open fight, Vale Tudo. I'm Austin Keys, and together with Eric Paulson, and we will be bringing you all the action from the Portuguese Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Tonight, we have some of the biggest names in NHB fighting, no holds barred, ready to square off at an 8-foot-high cage where there is literally nowhere to run. If you're taking some of the beauty Brazil has to offer, there'll be 2 4-man tourneys over 80 kilos and under 80 kilos, and 1 super fight. We'll also be showing you a preliminary fight that features international veteran and fan favorite, the Pedro. Let's take a look at the brackets to get some insight from another fight veteran. He's instructor at the famous Inosanto Academy in Los Angeles, California, and Japan's light heavyweight world shoot wrestling champion, Eric Paulson.
Let's take a look at the lightweight tournament. We have Dan Henderson from the United States fighting Crezio de Souza from Brazil, a jiu-jitsu fighter versus a wrestler. In our next event, we have Jose Pele Landi from Brazil, a kickboxer, fighting Eric Smith from the United States, and he's a wrestler from the Hammer House. In our heavyweight bracket this evening, we have 4 big fighters fighting each other. Kevin Randleman from the United States, wrestling Hammer House, fighting a freestyle fighter, Omen Deneve from Brazil. In our next fight, we have Pantera Negra from Brazil, freestyle fighter, fighting Tom Erickson from the United States, wrestling Raw Team.
That sounds exciting, Eric. Thanks a lot. And thanks for joining me in the booth tonight. I guess it's time for our very first action fight. It's a preliminary match featuring the Pedro and Paula.
I've seen the Pedro fight before, and he's pretty well-rounded. He's got a lot of tenacity. Now, Palau, I have never seen him fight before. I've heard he's never fought, and he's untested, so this would be interesting to see.
Is this a usual thing where you've got somebody experienced fighting somebody who's not experienced?
Not too often. In an event, usually both fighters are seasoned somewhat, and the quality of the fighters is matched up pretty evenly.
Could there be some surprises here?
Possibly. You know, the unknown.
The unknown in a match like this. I guess that's one of the reasons why fans are brought into these matches, because just about any time anything could happen. Whether these guys are matched up or not, they're all trained and they're all into the fighting action. Look at this guy. He seems like a massive.
He's pretty big. Look at his shirt. Born to fight. I guess he's ready to go. Palau is 119 kilos versus the Pedro, who's 105, so he's got a weight advantage on him. And he's also a kickboxer from Sao Paulo versus the Pedro, who's a luta libre fighter from Rio de Janeiro.
I guess later on in the fight we'll have you explain what happens when you have differences in styles and how they are matched up. But we had an opportunity earlier to interview some of these fighters and get their particular perspectives. We spoke with the Pedro in his fighting perspectives, and he gives us a little background on how he thinks the fight will go.
De Pedro. Meu nome é De Pedro. Eu represento a nobre arte da luta livre. Para mim, o Vale Tudo é uma guerra. E a arena, o octógono é o inferno. Eu espero que aquela grade seja bastante alta, para que meu adversário não fuja. E todos irão lembrar de mim. Porque quando acabar essa luta, eu vou ser campeão. Meu nome é De Pedro.
And that's the Pedro. He is on fire, and here he comes.
Looks like he's ready to fight. He's pretty focused. His eyes didn't move very much during his little interview there, so he's pretty serious about this fight.
How important is concentration?
Concentration is so important in these type of events because
is he giving tribute to somebody?
He just paid respects to the ring. Sometimes some fighters say a little prayer before they walk in.
Is that unique or is that widespread?
It's pretty widespread amongst all fighters. Everyone has their own little way of saying a prayer before they get in.
I noticed that the referees in these fights tend to be large human beings, massive.
The referee's name is Varelans. He's a former kickboxing champion from Brazil, so he pretty much understands the striking rules here in this event.
Somebody who's been in the ring a lot.
He's been in the ring, he's fought in the ring, he knows what it's like to get hit and to hit.
Any particular reason why they choose referees with a lot of experience?
Just so they see the things going on and they can understand it and pick out, see if someone's hurt or if somebody's able to continue.
Now, what's he telling them? He's giving them some last-minute instructions?
Just spread them apart so they don't enter out of that little or under that little pentagram too soon, and then they can come out swinging.
Look at that, he's taunting him. Come on, he's taunting him. I can't believe this.
Pedro is known for his showboating, and that's why a lot of the people and the fans respect it and like it. They like to watch him showboat because he's really showing off. Just makes it more entertaining for the viewers.
Quite an entertainer. And what's his? Look at that spin.
Nice little tornado spin there.
What's he going to try to do in the beginning of this? What is the first objective in a match like this?
Well, I think the Pedro, knowing that Palau is a kickboxer, I would think he'd throw a couple punches, a couple hits just to season him up, just to make him relax, and then to shoot in and take him down and finish him on the ground.
As heavy as he is, would he be able to kick high, or is he going to just try to knock his feet from under him?
Well, it looks like Palau's more of a slugger, and his double leg tackle there. Come straight back. Usually on a bigger person like that, it's hard to pick him up and turn him, so usually they dump him to the side, or step behind him, or sometimes just go straight in and shoot him all the way back into the fence and pull the legs out.
It seems like it's a classic takedown maneuver. What's the next step here?
He's in a crossbody position here. He's looking to go probably to the mount. And if the guy in the bottom can, he's going to try to stand up or get out of a situation like this. It's like he's squirming into the fence to get away. He's got his hips away. Nice knee to the face. Trying to pull his leg out there. Elbow to the back of the head from Palau.
Body punches seem like they would hurt.
Body
Elbows?
punches are okay. They don't actually hurt as much as they look like they would. You don't feel it so much. I think you feel more in the head. So he's back up to his feet once more, and they've split. Okay, it looks like he's going to try to punch him a couple times. Palau looks like he's getting a little tired there. His wind seems to be a little down.
Born to fight
Real
seems
slow.
like his motto there. He's got it in his shirt. He's got it in his trunks.
He's breathing real heavy. Nice spinning back kick to the liver there.
You guys are serious.
Well, when you're in an arena like that and you're paid to fight, the main goal is just to hurt the guy across from you. And not so much to hurt him, but more just to win.
Speaking of hurting, exactly how devastating can some of these fights be?
Body tackle. Depends on what happens. You know, your joints, if they get hyperextended, it takes a center of time. Depends upon which joint and how many clicks you hear. Nice headbutt. But usually in an event like this, you get headbutts, you get cuts. Cuts take a little time to heal. Bumps and bruises heal easy. Ooh, nice foot stomp there.
Well, basically, anything goes.
Anything's legal. There are some rules in these fights. They don't allow eye gouging. They don't allow biting.
He's kicking him.
It seems like they're allowing the groin strikes. Headbutts, elbows, knees are legal. Kicks, punches.
Now, I was going to ask you earlier, how long do these matches go?
Headbutt.
Is there a time limit here?
Yeah, each fight has a time limit. And if there's like if there's no action on the ground, if there seems to be a stalemate situation for the audience, they're making it more of a spectator sport, so they're bringing the people back up to their feet.
What's happening
Attempted
now?
body tackle there, and he's got crossbody on him one more time. Few punches to the face, soften him up. Spit his mouthpiece out. He's having a problem breathing. A couple more punches. Looks like Pedro's in a dominant position here, waiting to mount. He's got the mount. Now just a matter of time. A couple punches, the famous hunch and punch. A couple shots. The man on the bottom right now is usually in a panic state of mind. Ooh, an elbow straight on the face, right on the cheekbone, and he tapped out. Winner, the Pedro.
Yeah, that's our first fight. Eric, what do you think?
The fight win is planned for the Pedro.
Oh, you
The
gotta
showboat.
love that. Look at that. You gotta love that.
Here, let's look at a little instant replay here. Look at the showball. Hands on the hips, hands down, tornado spin. People love him for that. Here, he's elbowing him on the face, on the cheekbone. Cuts usually occur from these hits. Again, the man on the bottom is in the panic state. Ooh, right on the cheek. That's about enough to make someone tap. If you can't get out of there, usually the tap will come right away. Make someone bleed, and they'll get out of the fight right away.
Well, there it is. The victory. The Pedro. Submission by strike. The Pedro wins it. Official time, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Good fight. What do you think, Eric?
I thought the fight was a great fight. It was a good preliminary bout. The fight can go 20 minutes. You can win by knockout, tap out, or by decision.
The next match is the beginning of the lightweight tournament. It is Dan Henderson against Crazio, and we have an interview with both of these fighters, beginning with Dan Henderson.
I'm just happy to be here at the Brazil Open fight. This will be my first Vale Tudo event, and hoping to kind of prove a little bit as far as Greco-Roman wrestling goes, and maybe make a little money in the process. Been wrestling for a long time, never get any money for it, so I'm just here to get it on.
Here to get it on, Eric. Did you hear that? Dan Henderson, the American fighter, is pumped tonight.
Looks like he's walking out with his manager, Rico Ciparelli, and Tom Erickson, the heavyweight fighter, will be fighting on later on this evening.
How about some of his stats?
Dan Henderson's a 3 times U.S. Greco champion, 2-time U.S. Olympic team member, and he's the 97 world team member.
Let's check out Crezio right now and see what he has to say.
Meu nome é Crezio de Souza. Fui convidado pelo Portinari e pelo Beto Leitão para participar do primeiro Brasil Open Fight. E tô vindo de uma infeliz derrota na minha última luta e senti o sabor da derrota. Me preparo hoje em dia para não perder mais. Eu não quero mais sentir aquilo. E minha preparação física agora, minha preparação técnica é para não perder mais. Estou aqui para ganhar.
Can you take a guess at what he said there, Eric?
I have no idea. I don't understand Portuguese, but I would like to learn. Out walking with him is Carlson Gracie, who is probably the best fighter in the world, notorious for his unmarked record. With him is Vitor Belfort, who is his adopted fighter, his adopted son.
He's sort of the Brazilian bad boys in the sport.
Yes, he is. Crezio is a freestyle fighter. He's a challenger in the Vale Tudo, a Brazilian wrestling champion in 90, 91, and 92, and he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion.
Looks strong.
He's also the head instructor at their school.
Do they have schools in the United States?
Just as well, yes.
Now, how would you break this fight down? What is the approach here for these fighters?
Well, Henderson looks like he's not afraid of guarding his legs too much. He's just trying to slug.
Immediate punching.
Yeah, if you notice, too, that Henderson has his shoes on. He has a wrestling shoes, which you're not allowed to kick with. So he's just coming out to slug and to shoot.
He got him down, did he not?
Ground. Notice they're in the guard here. His legs inserted, his hooks inserted here. Henderson being comfortable in the guard position, which most wrestlers usually are. Crezio's holding his head, controlling the position. Dan's just relaxing, trying to pass the guard down a little bit.
Trying to creep away, I guess.
Facing his legs. Notice the knee, leg hook there. Henderson's trying to slog away.
Look at the quickness. Henderson is fast.
Notorious for that pinch there. He always loves to crunch a guy's head into his knee from the guard. I've wrestled with him a couple times, and he loves to do that.
You've wrestled with him?
Trained with him. Trained with Henderson a few times. He's extremely strong for his size. Real strong ligament strength.
Look at the massive legs on this guy. Actually, both fighters look rather big. Thick, muscular.
Tendon strength is key. It's not weight strength, it's tendon strength here. As you can see, the guy in the bottom, he's trying to get out. He's trying to sneak out a little bit. See, he's moving his hips, trying to sneak to the back. Dan's controlling his head really well, so it's real hard. Notice how he just cut him off and squared back up with him. Trying to sneak out, get to his side, get to his back. Dan's controlling the guard very well. This is back into the closed guard.
These fights are full of action. Sometimes there are some lax moments, but the explosion of action comes at any second. Here we go.
Also, sometimes you need to relax. They relax in these. They get their breath, they catch their wind, and then they go. They let everything out. If you go full force the whole time, it's real hard to continue the pace. So the pace is the key.
Now, would Crezio be able to manage to turn things around, get out of that hold?
As you can see there, he was trying to insert his hook between his legs and trying to sweep him or get out. Notice he's trying to go. He's going to his knees. Oh, he's up. He's back up. Henderson has a wizard on him. Crezio's got a bear hug, so it's hard for him to throw him right now. Good control, good base, good balance. Base is key.
They're beginning to get tired now.
It's very difficult to go from ground to standing to ground to standing. It's probably the most tiring fight you could ever fight. Training for these athletes is very difficult. You have to be in top shape. These guys are top athletic, physical specimens.
They look like they're in great shape. They look like they're massively.
Back into the guard once more.
Now, I see what you mean about tendon strength, Eric. Look at his legs.
Notice that the Brazilians always choose the guard. That's like the safety zone. Henderson loves that headlock, just tries to pinch your head off.
Seems like he's got him wrapped under pretty well. What can a man do to get from under such a thing?
Sneak your hips out, try to go back to your knees, control your head, keep that arm up there so he can't get a good pinch on the head. And Henderson's expelling a lot of energy here.
Well, if that's what you got to do, it's not working for him.
Back up.
He's pulling him back up. Why is that?
Not enough action on the ground. Again, this is for the spectators.
Somebody in Crezio's fight corner is upset. Who is that?
That's Feliz Ismail. He's one of the top fighters, one of the most popular fighters in Brazil. You can see him screaming there in the corner. Now, the referee, Zarella, he's a Brazilian kickboxing champion, so he likes to see the standing. That could be a little bit to do with him standing them back up, as opposed to a jiu-jitsu referee.
They look tired now. They really do. At least Crezio does.
Just squaring up. You can see Henderson squaring up for that big shot. Look like Crezio's waiting to shoot.
Gonna have a dive for the legs. What are we gonna do here?
I think Crezio's gonna go for the legs. Looks like Henderson's gonna punch him. See that? One square shot. Oh, and he shoots a double into the body. Nice knee. Good exchange. Oh, good knee.
Look at that.
Oh, double leg. He's got him down. Henderson's on his butt. Notice he's holding him tight. Good position. Crezio's going to try to sneak his head out and pass his guard here. Oh, he jumped over his guard. Henderson's notorious for that headlock. Now, Crezio's got to get his head loose in order for him to move. Otherwise, he could be thrown over real easy. So it's just a matter of time. Takes his time. Let Stan get a little tight. His head's loose. Good control on top. Just controlling the position. Dan's countering the mount.
I've seen that at a couple of fights where one foot gets over to the other foot with the man down. What is that?
They lift the legs up like that just to protect the person from the mount position, from the person on top to step over. So his legs are up so he doesn't allow it. So usually what they do is they put the knee on like he just did here for the mount. He stays on his back. Oh, Henderson rolls. Oh, good counter, recounter. He's back on his back once more. Crezio's got the mount. This is what the Brazilians are famous for the hunch and punch, the ground and pound.
Is that your nomenclature there, the hunch and punch, Eric?
The hunch and punch. That's
I like that.
Famous. Oh, Henderson with the good bridge back to the guard. Wrestlers are notorious for their bridge.
And when you say bridge, what are you talking about?
Anytime someone's sitting on them in a position, sitting on their stomach, they'll try to bridge you over to get you back to your back.
Great leg work by Henderson. Look at that.
He's trying to step around there.
I mean, he's got massive leverage.
Oh,
look at that.
5 unanswered blows means usually that it's the end of the fight. Looks like Henderson's getting ready to finish him here with a choke. Couple of headbutts, side headbutt. He's posting up. Looks like he's getting ready to pull back and hit. Crezio's working his guard here, open guard, trying to kick his legs out so he doesn't have control. That's Carlson in his corner screaming at him. That's his coach. He's one of the top trainers in the world for fighters.
What's a guy to do in that position? What's a guy to do?
Again, on the bottom, his objective is to try to sneak out, hold him, let him wear himself out, and then sneak his hip out and try to get to his side or his back.
Question is, does he have the strength and energy left for that?
He's just holding on. He's letting Dan.
Seems like Dan is moving him around.
Dan's burning a lot of energy here. Notice he's trying to pin his head up against the fence.
Yeah.
Good control the fence, good work with the fence. Dan's just putting all his weight on him. Now the hitting.
Oh, look at
Again,
that.
the
Here
famous
we go. Look at that.
punch and
There's
punch.
5 punches there.
And the ref broke.
That's amazing. You think
He
he'd
just
stop
broke
the
the
fight like
fight.
that?
And that's it. He calls the fight.
Dan Henderson said he was going to rock and roll tonight, and he sure did from beginning to the
He
end.
just called the fight. That doesn't happen too often, especially in these types of fights that they call. A little
There's some
slow-mo
slow motion
action
here.
here. Look at this knee. Oh, right in the eye. Look at the hand on the head so he can't shoot. Steps off, one punch, misses the punch. Taken down by the double leg. Body and leg. Yeah, right into the guard.
It seems like this is an opportunity here to sort of reverse things.
Here we have, the top position he's holding. Look at the bridge that he got. Look at the power in the bridge.
Dan Henderson
Wrestlers
was
are
able to
notorious from their bridge.
yeah, reverse the whole situation again. Grecio couldn't just keep it from
Here we have a
happening.
slow-mo. That's just where he just starts hitting it. 1, 2,
This is the finish of the
3,
fight, yeah.
4, 5. But as you can see, some of the punches weren't hitting. They were deflecting blows. Some of the punches were deflecting blows there. If I was a ref, I don't think I would call this fight. I would let it go.
Call it, whether you would or not. It was called at 8 minutes and 7 seconds, Eric, and the fight is done. Henderson the winner. I guess we have our next card. It's Eric Smith against Pele.
Looking forward to seeing this fight. Eric Smith is a great wrestler from the United States, from Hammer House.
Eric Smith.
Let's hear what Eric has to say.
I come to the Brazil Open fight to fight in Sao Paulo, representing Team Coleman, Hammer House. I thank everybody for inviting me. I fight with a lot of vigor, very exciting. Thank Julio, Roberto, Marcel, all of them. I put on a good fight. Hope you like and invite me back.
He looks like a nice, friendly kind of guy.
Com vocês,
Sure does.
Eric Smith.
Whoa, he's ripped. Sponsors are Red Nose.
We'll have a chance to talk about the sponsors.
Eric Smith is a 2-time NCAA All-American wrestler from Ohio State. He's from Hammer House, who is coached by Mark Coleman, who's the reigning UFC champion.
You seem to know a lot about this, Eric. Personal experience, buddy?
Maybe a little.
O lutador Pelé.
Here we go. Pele. What do you know about him?
Pele is his opponent, who has got a kickboxing background and a wrestling background. Looks like he's in pretty good shape. Seems to be pretty well focused. That's the Thai respect, Sawadi Cup, before they walk in. They pay respect to their coach, their country, their family.
Quite a light show in these events.
He has more of a kickboxer's build, as you can see. Doesn't look like he's got as much of a grappler's build as much as Eric does.
When you say grapplers, what are we looking for?
Stockier, thicker neck, thicker limbs. The neck looks bigger. Usually the trunk's a little bigger. More tendon strength. Kickboxers tend to be lengthier.
How are they going to approach this fight?
It looks like Eric Smith's coming out with his hands up.
It's going to be a kicking and punching battle. And one has got shoes on, and one is
Eric's
not.
can only punch. Since he's got shoes on, he's allowed to only punch. Oh, double into the body,
Immediately
into the
down.
guard.
Look at that.
See, there's where the grappling experience comes in handy. Oh, headbutt. Eric's comfortable in this position here, you can tell. Headbutts. Do the leg work from the guy in the bottom. Ooh, he's going for an arm out to a triangle. Good counter. It looks pretty slippery. Single leg. Single into a double.
Is this a good match here?
Yeah, it looks pretty evenly matched up here. The standing. Oh, arm lock. He swings into the arm. He definitely has jiu-jitsu background. Notice a stack here on his neck. Eric has all his weight balanced going forward. He's trying to roll out of it here. Good control, good base. Keeping his head low. Right now it's a waiting game.
What are they waiting for?
They're waiting for him to pop his head up so he can sneak that leg and get him off balance and pull that arm out.
I haven't seen a fighter use his legs like Pele has so far. This is interesting.
Here's the head. Notice his head's up. Oh, he pops out of it quick. Wrestlers are always explosive like that. If you don't lock it on right away, they pop out of it real quick. Oh, notice the hits. 5 square hits to the side of the temple.
Now, you said earlier, no gouging of the eyes. It's one of the rules.
That's one of the rules. Sometimes when the ref's not around or if your finger accidentally goes in someone's eye, it happens once in a while.
Any movements a la Tyson? Some nibbling, biting?
You're not supposed to, but again, if the ref's not looking, I think anything's legal.
Speaking of referees, who's the referee this time around?
The referee for this fight, they changed. It's
What happened
Fernando
there?
Yamazaki.
What happened?
I think they changed. There was a little partial
Lunch break?
influence there, yes. Fernando Yamazaki is the head instructor. He's a judo jiu-jitsu instructor at the Formula Academy. This is a good matchup.
I love the audience music. Kind of get the crowd going.
The crowds in Brazil are crazy. They love this style of fighting. Whereas sometimes in America, you hear some of these fights, a lot of the spectators will start booing because they want to see the fighting, they want to see the hitting, they want to see the blood.
Different expectations.
In Brazil, the jiu-jitsu is so popular that everyone likes to see the technical game on the ground. Whereas in America, it's different. A lot of the Americans don't understand it. In Japan, the whole audience gets quiet. Totally different.
I think a lot
He's
of
hitting him with a
punches.
lot of shots.
Yeah.
Then he gets to a good defensive position with his legs. This is really a good fight. Good matchup.
Now, would you say this sport coming to America has been an export or an import process? Did somebody in America bring it in, or?
Yes, they did. This style of Varelans fighting was brought in by the Gracies. And Maureen Gracie had an idea a long time ago about bringing it in. I had trained with Maureen a while ago, and he was talking, I remember about 8 years ago, about bringing this style of fighting and making it popular in America. Nobody had heard of it, and everyone said, well, yeah, we don't think it's going to go. And look at what it's become.
Listen to that crowd. Listen to that
They
crowd.
love this. Crowds in Brazil are sometimes, there's better fights out in the audience that are in the ring.
Love to see that. No referees to break that up now.
I think that would be another video. That'd be another video because they could have the ring fights, and then you could have like a sideline with another guy with the camera out in the audience, getting some of the fights out there.
Great idea.
See the
Now,
leg
what's happening
pushes
here
him
now?
off. He got him off. He stood up.
Looks like he's going to help him up there. What's happening?
Yeah, Pele's just waiting to get up again so he can stand. Eric doesn't want to let him up. He wants to keep him down and beat
He's
him.
like an attack hamster there. Did you see that?
See the control on the head and the arms? He's not letting him sit up so he can hit him. And he's going to stack him and put pressure on his neck. A few little headbutts to soften him up. Smith is extremely strong. Haley's defense is real good, though. Real good defensive guard.
Especially the way he uses those legs.
The leg work's critical. So he's just pressuring him with his head.
Interesting gloves they're wearing. Open fingered. Is that regulation gloves?
It looks like they both have a different glove on, so I think it's as long as it's an open finger. They have to wear a glove, regardless if it's what it is. It's got to be an open finger. And I don't think it really matters what brand it is, because one of the earlier fights, the two fighters had a different style glove on. They had the Rev Gear glove, whereas these are the Harbinger or the Chuck Norris style gloves.
Yeah, a lot of padding in these gloves.
Not really. Enough to guard your knuckles, not for the person getting hit.
That's it. Far different from American style boxing, like you say.
Very different. These gloves allow you to grab the hit just as well. Real good for control on the ground. Notice the pressure on his head.
Yeah.
They're both kind of resting here a little bit, just waiting for one another to make the wrong move. See the guard? He's definitely got some jiu-jitsu background. Gets a hook in there. Notice the right leg. He's lifting him up, attempting a sweep. Got the hook out. Smith's just putting the headbutts in.
They must be extremely tired at this point.
They're just resting here. Paley's used to getting hit, so he's not really freaking out in this position. You know, once you get a lot of contact to your head and you're used to getting hit, sometimes in this position you don't go in quite as much of a panic state as one would normally that didn't have that type of training. Although it doesn't look like much is going on here, there's very technical, small, little subtle moves. Smith's trying to pass his guard. Eric's trying to get him in. Eric Smith is trying to put all his weight on him, trying to pass a guard, and Paley's trying to insert his hooks and get him up so he can either go to his knees, arm lock him, or sweep him.
Now, can you tell at this vantage point so far what is likely going to be the outcome of the fight based on the performance so
Well, it's
far?
real difficult because anything can happen. People pull rabbits out of their hats sometimes from this.
What's happening here? What's going on?
Looks like he tried to pass his guard. Notice he's crunching him here.
Up against the fence.
The famous cradle. Most Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters are used to getting stacked, so they have very flexible backs. Their backs are real flexible, so they're used to having their knees above their head. Stalemate situation here.
I was going to ask you if you could tell at this point in time how the fight is going. Is there any way to tell?
It's a stalemate. That's why the ref's breaking him. Look at, he's standing him back up. Again, for the spectators, he wants to add a little bit more contact in this so they're not wrestling on each other. They're staying active to get a final result quicker.
I got to tell you, Eric, without you here, the fight would not be the same.
Oh, come on. Look at, they're tired. Let's watch this. It's going to be good. Double. Picks him up and drops him back down.
Looks like he
turns
buckled
him,
from
turns
his,
the corner,
from his weight.
back into the guard.
Thought he was going to drop him there for a
Looks
second.
like he was going to throw him over his back. Back into the guard again. Old Faithful.
What's your favorite move?
Telling jokes.
Gets the other guy off guard while he's laughing. You get a
Very
couple
well
of punches in.
rounded. Really good at telling jokes. Couple shots. Oh, elbow shots to the top of the melon. Notice by standing them, they're a little more energetic now on the ground. They're more anxious to finish. They're both trying to finish the fight. Our teams tonight are Carlson Gracie. Carlson and Victor Gracie. Oh, he's going to the arm. He's got the arm. Oh, he snuck out.
What about that Gracie team?
Carlson Gracie team has so many good fighters on it. He's got so many quality fighters.
Who else?
Hammer House, Mark Coleman's Hammer House. From America, the Budokan.
Varelans, is that the Japanese team?
It's a Brazilian team,
Brazilian
but
team.
the Budokan is actually a Japanese term. Budokan's a Holland, Japan. And then you have the Raw, Real American Wrestlers team.
Who are you rooting for?
I like them all. I'm not partial to either.
Good answer. There we go. Look at that.
I think anyone who can get in the ring and fight, doesn't matter who wins or loses, everyone should be given credit. A lot of fighters aren't given credit for getting in there and doing it. A lot of people are armchair warriors, couch critics. It's a different game when you get in there and do it for real. Another thing that makes a big difference is a lot of people, they wrestle, a lot of people, they do jiu-jitsu, and a lot of people do kickboxing. When you add it all, it had a whole different element to the fighting. And a lot of the people, they talk a lot because they're really good on the ground, but when they start adding the hits to the face, it changes the entire complexion of the fight, and the whole thing changes. Suddenly, instead of attacking, you defend yourself. So you start worrying about different things.
We've seen that tonight.
Unless you do it for real, you don't really know what it's really like. The adrenaline rush, the crowd, the endurance, full force, both fighters going full force trying to kill each other. Victory is key. See that? Inserted the hook, took the hook right back out. Looks like Smith's getting used to the guard, getting used to the sweeps. Knows what's going on there. Pele's notorious, famous for his elbows in the guard. In a lot of his previous fights, he's won and cut a lot of people with the elbow from the bottom position to the top of the head, to the cheek, and to the eye bone. Trying to sneak out there, just getting the foot on the hip. Hear the Portuguese?
I hear that. I wish I understood what he was saying. Sock it to me? Is that what he's saying? Sock it
Sounds
to
like
me.
he's saying sock it to me.
There you go. That's some punching. The R-E-S-P-E-C-T, baby. What's going on through their minds? You've been in that position before.
Punches. A little bit. Survival and winning.
Seems like this is as much a physical as it is a mental.
Total physical. Haley on the bottom is doing more defending. He's doing more of the surviving game. Eric's doing all the attacking. His endurance is real high because he's been attacking this entire fight.
I don't know, some of these fighters have sponsors on their trunks, shoes. Who are the sponsors?
Red Nose is one of the sponsors that you can see here. A lot of fighters choose sometimes local sponsors, local shops will sponsor them. Depends on where they're at, the territory they're at, and the different products they use. As you can see, like the wrestlers choose the Asics and the Nikes. If you look at Smith's shoes, they're Asics, and you look at his socks, they're Nikes. So everyone's got kind of a different, all get different sponsors.
I haven't seen Red Nose too much in the States. Is that product available here?
No, that's a Brazilian company.
What about the promoters?
Promoters tonight are Julio Pignari. Oh, he picked him back up. Julio Pignatari, Roberto Litiao, and Marcelo Portinari are the sponsors. I hope I pronounced those right.
Good go. Good go. I'm just getting tired of watching this. This is amazing. These guys are drenched in sweat.
Again, this fight, the distance is 20 minutes, so if the fight goes to the 20-minute, they're going to go to a decision. And if it's a draw, then they're going to have to go to sudden death.
Who do you think's going to win, Eric?
Hard to say here. Both fighters are in neutral positions. Anything can happen. Pele's trying to steal that arm. He's trying to get his arm, trying to get his head, trying to get some space to hit him so he can get the arm out. And he's trying to arm lock him. Smith looks like he's trying to beat him into submission.
In a situation like that, what would the judges look for?
The judges look for, in a position like this, they look for the throws, the takedowns, and they look for the striking.
Now, what's he saying to them?
Action.
The referee.
Let's have some action.
Yeah.
That's Coleman there, Mark Coleman, the reigning UFC champion. 3 minutes left. He's got 3 minutes. Tell him how much time. grabbing the fence. No grabbing the fence and pulling them
I
in.
thought that was allowed.
It's only allowed when you're standing to hold your balance. You're not allowed when you're on the ground to grab the fence.
Isso! Afasta ele, pau, pau, pau. Vai! Isso!
Punching, kicking, kneeing. So that's a striking. Throws, takedowns, tackles, and then on the ground, who stays more active? Positions, dominant positions, and attacks and escapes. That's basically how they judge a fight if it goes to a decision.
What percentage of fights go to a decision?
Not too many. Most of them go to submission or a knockout.
Vai pro meio do ringue, não deixa ele se encostar.
Well, as you can see here, the sponsor is getting a lot of publicity.
Sure. In a kind of
20 minutes of
backward
publicity.
sort of way.
Vai, vai, vai.
All right, got the hook in. He's got to pressure too much. The knee is too bent to get any power from it. Again, this is at the Portuguese Arena in São Paulo,
São
Brazil.
Paulo. Beautiful São Paulo. You been there before?
Never to São Paulo.
No?
Rio, de Janeiro, never to São Paulo.
You ever go running naked down the streets of Rio and they have some sort of a festival, don't they, Eric?
I think, yeah, you're chased by bulls.
No, that's somewhere else. That's different. I think you're getting confused here.
O jogo dele é só esse, não tem outro.
No, they actually do that, you know, down in Rio, the streets of Rio. Yeah, they run naked down the street. They do.
I'd like to go there just to take some
Vai
pictures.
pro meio do ringue. Vai pro
Carnival, there it is.
Carnival?
Absolutely.
Vai pro meio do ringue.
But you have to wear feathers on your face with that.
I don't know anything about feathers.
Viu, Pelé? Tenta levantar ele pela... Isso aí, pela perna, meu.
Looks like the fight's going to go the distance here. Either fighter is able to tap either out or make either give up.
Foge pro meio que dá pra você trabalhar.
Good neutral position.
Aí na grade fica difícil. Foge pro meio. Casinha aberta, tranquilo. Vai passar de tranquilo. Porrada, meu. Afasta e porrada.
What's it going to take to make a break here? What's it going to take to make a change in the scene?
The
of
fight's
fight?
almost done. There's not much time left here. As you can see, the guy on top is staying active the whole time, so sometimes that can determine whether or not you're going to win or lose in a situation like this.
Você sai de pé de novo, hein? Amarrado,
That's
That's
it.
it. It's 20-minute marker. This was a great fight. Great matchup. Coleman there slapping his guy's hand. And it's time. Smith looks like he's still ready to go. Those guys did a great job. Look at the double. Picks him up. Look at how he readjusts here. Goes back into the double. On his knees. Turns a corner. Slams him on his back. Beautiful transition. Here from the bottom, Pele goes into the, swings into the straight arm lock. He's trying to pull it out here. Smith does a great job of keeping his head down. One more attempt here. Gets the arm lock, snaps it on real quick, puts it on, look at it's on, and they're so slippery he manages to just yank his arm out. A great fight.
Nice little recap. Official time, 20 minutes. And we have a winner that we're going to announce now. Who do you think is the winner?
I couldn't say.
E por unanimidade,
I would call it a draw, personally.
Would you?
o combate é Eric Smith.
All right.
Eric Smith.
That was a good fight. You got to give both fighters a hand. It was a great, I mean, neither one's like extremely, there's maybe a few bumps and bruises. Nobody's cut, nobody's bleeding. That was really a
De
good
Belém do
fight.
Pará. Eu queria chamar
Now
ao
we're into the
octógono
heavyweight section of the fight,
o
over
homem
80
de
kilograms.
neve.
Omen Denev and Kevin Randleman. Can they come down who our first fighter is? Omen Denev. Omen Denev, what can you tell us about him, Eric?
Omedenev is from São Paulo, Brazil, and he is
E
a freestyle
representando a
body
arte
tudo
do
fighter.
wrestling. com
He is also,
105
Omidenev is
quilos.
also 100
E medindo
kilograms, which is
1,78
approximately 220 pounds.
Campeão no
And
Rio
he's
de Janeiro, aluno de
1.79
Coleman.
meters high.
Kevin Randleman, we're going to hear from him right now on an interview.
If you don't know by now, my name's Kevin Randleman. It's my 3rd time here. I'm very happy to be back in Sao Paulo, Brazil, fighting in the Brazilian Open fight. I always look forward to fighting anyone, anywhere, and I'm just back again to give you guys what you want. Fights, lots of them, good fights.
Positive attitude, prepared physically and mentally. This guy's going to give us a show. Kevin Randleman.
Kevin Randleman / Rodman / Randleman. Looks a lot like Rodman.
Cute. Very
Look how
cute.
big he is.
Looks like a tough man. Thick.
huge.
Look at that.
Look at those
My
traps.
God.
Very thick. With the skill and the strength, his endurance is up. People like that are hard to beat.
What are his credentials?
Kevin Randleman, first of all, he's 108 kilograms. He's 101.81 meters. And he comes from Hammer House. Mark Coleman from Ohio.
Is this a good matchup?
Look at this.
Look at the
Look at
difference
his
in
entry.
size.
Look how low he is.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Randleman's a 2-time NCAA wrestling champion.
Now we've got 2 different sponsors here. We've got
He's got the bad boy shorts
Bad Boy
on
shorts
for the
and-
bad boy.
and Red Nose.
The red nose is on the bottom.
It's there, Kevin.
Look at the size of his legs.
Power, endurance, determination.
Hit him, it's there, baby. Hit him.
Oh man, I haven't seen punches like that in a while.
That's obvious. That's obvious that that's Mark Coleman there. That's his famous strategy: ground him and pound him.
I thought that was your terminology. Ground him and pound him.
Punch and punch.
Punch and punch. That's yours.
Hammer house, hammer fist. Notice he's pressuring him into the fence. This
Is this
fight's
an
going to
even-
go fast.
Is
You
this
can
an
tell.
even match here? What do you think, Eric?
I think there's a lot of pressure on the person. You can see that he's waiting to explode.
He's bringing him up. What's going on here?
Stalemate. No, not enough action. Same type of fight. The audience didn't like it. Look at him. He's ripped. He's huge. 108 kilograms. It's approximately close to 240 pounds.
Massive. He was just scary looking. That would be a great guy to have as a buddy in a Saturday night bar fight in South Texas, wouldn't you say? Look at that. Just takes him down like he's a pretzel.
Someone like that would be a good ally. Great takedown there. Omidenev notoriously loves to punch and kick. He's a freestyle fighter. Most freestyle fighters love the kickboxing. And then have a little bit of the grappling background. Randleman's total wrestler. A few punches and shoot a nice elbow.
There it is. Stopping the fight, and he's
That's
helping him
it.
up.
He tapped. He tapped the mat. Anytime you tap, that's submission. That's it. That's the end of the fight. He just gave up. Mate.
Look at the courtesy and sportsmanlike behavior of these fighters.
It's a sport. It's all about the sport. It's all about the money.
2 minutes, 32 seconds.
It's all about finding out who you are and where you go. Notice
the
Mark
replay.
Coleman there on the right-hand side.
Yes.
Just a replay one more time.
Is he choking him there?
Look at that elbow. Square across the nose. He tapped the mat. One shot, he tapped the mat. No cuts. One more time. Nice close-up. Good control. Watch him pop the
E
elbow
por
in.
unanimidade,
Oh, look at
por
that.
desistência, o vencedor
That
do
was it.
combate,
One shot is all it took.
Kevin Randleman.
Great fight.
Por
Quick. You could tell that
desistência,
fight was going to go quick. Just the intensity of the fighters.
Kevin Randleman.
Kevin Randleman looked strong all the way through. Now he's going to face the winner of the next fight, Tom Erickson and Pantera Negra. And we look at the stats here. Eric, what can you say about the next batch of fighters?
Tom Erickson's from the United States. He's a heavyweight wrestler, national champion. And Pantera Negra is a Brazilian freestyle champion from Belém.
He's These Brazilians all have interesting names, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Not
Look at
straight
that.
ahead.
Look at that red nose there.
It's right in front of me. I'm looking at it, intent. I'm concentrating as much as these fighters are.
Pantera Negra means Black Panther.
Really? I didn't know you knew the language so well.
My Portuguese, unbelievable.
That's incredible. Traveling the world all around, you have picked up a few moves, haven't you? This is going to be a great fight. Now we're going to have an interview with Tom Erickson to find out what he's been up to in his particular attitude. This man is looking strong.
Yes, my name is Tom Erickson. This is my first time in Brazil to come into the Brazilian Open fight, which is an honor for me to come down here where some of the greatest fighters around the world live and train here in Brazil. The Carlson Gracie School, many great fighters. For me, it is a very exciting chance to come here and test some of my skill against some of the best fighter skills in the world.
Looks like a nice guy, kind of guy you'd like to have next door at you. But,
Gatau.
look at the Gatau?
Gatau.
What is that?
Tom Erickson's nickname is the Big Cat.
Intense.
And Big Cat he is.
Look at the intense.
He's from the Raw team, wrestles from the Raw team, and he's from West Lafayette, Indiana. He's the U.S. National Freestyle Champ, World Cup Champ, and 97 U.S. World Team member.
The Midwest is a region in this country that hosts and boasts a lot of wrestlers. We have a lot of wrestlers from
The Midwest.
Indiana and Iowa and
Midwest is full of
Nebraska. Mm-hmm. Sizable guy. You know his size, dimensions, weight?
Tom Erickson is 6'4", 280 pounds. So it's very hard and difficult to find somebody
that size.
his size
Really?
that has his credentials.
Now, how is he going to approach this
I think
fight?
this is going to be a quick fight. Oh, left punch. Black Panther, nice double leg, knee skid. Oh, nice dive. Double leg pickup to a leg dive. A head and arm, good crossbody position, holding his position real tight.
Tom was a highly decorated wrestler, was he not?
Yes, he was. He's been fighting in these events and doing very well. Competing on a regular basis and is victorious every single time. Erickson's 280 pounds. Can you imagine having 280
280 pounds. That's a lot of man.
Now he's on his back. Look at this position here.
What do you call that?
Cross face. Just cranking his face. Face lock.
What is he doing with his left leg? What do you call that?
This is like the half guard position. When he's on his side, he's just controlling him so he can't get the full mount. Pantera needs to get out of the bottom position here. He needs to get off his stomach and get on his back and face him.
How would he do that?
You got to move your hips out and bridge and roll.
Pretty hard to do. He's got his legs locked that
He
way.
needs to start inching his way. Start bucking his hips. Needs to get his back away from Erickson. Erickson's got his back here. This is the worst position you could possibly be in.
The man on the bottom.
Yes. He's trying to hit Erickson. There's nothing.
Nothing there.
No power.
Just a mat.
It's about enough to piss you off.
And that spends some energy there, just thinking about that, doesn't it? Where are we in the fight now?
As you can see here, he's controlling his back. Pantera on the bottom's having a hard time getting out. He's in panic.
Panic mode.
He's in the panic mode.
Ow. Ow. That looks like it smarts.
Couple shots, one in the back of the neck, one in the face. That's it, he's tapping.
You can hear that
Tom
on the
Erickson,
mat.
victorious. Winner by submission.
2 minutes, 32 seconds.
He beat him into submission. He beat him into submission.
He elbowed him into
Look at the
submission.
slow motion
He
here.
pounded him.
All the
He
different
hounded
sides.
him.
Look at the different angles. Side hook, elbow to the stem of the neck, hooking to the face. Every time there's a option, he's hitting. That's it, he tapped out. Good top view angle here. Cross face. Oh, he's controlling his ankle so he can't stand up.
Well, he had him controlled.
Erickson has his ankle there?
Mm-hmm. From the get-go.
Stands up, that's it.
Once again.
One more angle.
Once again.
One more angle. That elbow there just set him on Queer Street. Couple extra little shots.
Where was that? I don't believe I've been to that part of the world.
Look at that left hook. Whoa, he almost dropped it.
Well, that was about the beginning and the end of it.
I think that was enough to piss Erickson off. Look here, he grabs him in a double, picks him up, and dives with 280 pounds onto his ribs. That's enough to quit right there.
That's how you cook a Big Mac.
Big Mac it is. I mean, Big Cat. Big Cat it is.
Tom Erickson winning
The
2
Big
minutes
Cat.
and 32
Cow.
seconds. There you go. You know it. And a nice friendly hug. Americans know how to be good sports, don't they? We're about ready for the main event and the 2 finals matches, the super fight. But before that, we have, well, American-style halftime entertainment. And here we go. We're just going to sit back and watch this.
Na passarela e desfilando no primeiro Brasil Open Fight. Flávia de Souza no octágono. Vamos lá, segunda candidata, Alessandra Leutenegger. Ela tem 21 anos, 1,75 m de altura, manequim 38. Alessandra no octágono. A terceira candidata desta noite, Sônia de Lima. Sônia de Lima tem 20 anos. Ela mede 1,69 m. É malandragem. Manequim 36. A gata no octágono. Ai, malandragem. E a candidata número 4 vem se aproximando. Ela é a Marilúcia Turra. Marilúcia Turra tem 21 anos, 1,65 m, uma passarela. Manequim 38. Ela invade o octógono com toda a força que Deus lhe deu. Marilúcia. A quinta candidata, Ellen Macedo. Ellen Macedo tem 23 anos, 1,65 m de altura, e manequim 38. A sexta candidata, Ana Paula Jimenez. Ela tem 22 anos, 1,66 m. Manequim 38. No octógono, Ana Paula.
you call that fight team?
That's good inspiration.
I tell you, that
makes you want to fight.
That was hard to take, I tell you. That was a nice
hard.
halftime show. Super fight card now. What's coming up?
This is Paul Varelans, UFC veteran, versus Carlos Baretto, Carlson Gracie Team Jiu-Jitsu, one of the biggest Jiu-Jitsu fighters.
Let's hear from the polar bear himself.
It's not called a super fight for no reason. This is gonna be a fucking super fight. I promise. Let's rock and roll.
Has he been under the sun a few days too long?
This is Paul the Polar Bear Varelans, UFC and pancrase veteran. He's from San Jose, California. He's a freestyle fighter, a former football player, and a big, strong, mean dude.
He looks like he's mean and strong. His opponent, Carlo Baretto. Let's hear from him right now.
É um prazer estar aqui no primeiro Brasil Open Fight. Espero fazer um grande espetáculo para o grande público. Conto com a sua presença. Vocês vão ver o maior espetáculo da Terra. Muito obrigado.
Nice guy. Seems like it anyway. Let's see what he's like in the ring.
You see Carlson Gracie walking out in front of him.
Tell us about him.
Carlson Gracie has the best fighters in the world again. He's got different fighters that fight in all different events. Carlo Baretto fought in the Universal Varelans 1, 2, and 4.
Now, this is the first time I've seen a fighter wear a gi. Is that a common practice?
I believe he'll take the gi off.
Are there advantages or disadvantages to that?
See, he took the gi
took it
off.
Yeah.
He's in the shorts. The Varelans fighters usually fight in the tight spandex shorts. It's going to be a good fight. Two big guys. The heavyweights are always fun to watch. Straight in for the clinch right off the bat.
What's he wearing on his feet, Mr. Varelans?
Paul Varelans looks like he taped his balls at his feet.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that's for. Maybe he's got some problems. Battle of the strongmen. Notice Baretto's trying to get that leg out,
Sure.
pull him out. He's going to try to get behind him,
Nice kick there.
get him on his back. Little headbutt, little knee action to soften him up. Hook that leg, pull it out, and dump him.
And he did.
And,
Dump him, he did. Looks like he dumped the camera with him.
Down in the half guard. Got him in the half guard here. Notice he's passing the guard. Look at the leg work.
Take a look at that knee action. That is tape.
Baretto passes guard on a daily basis.
Uh-huh.
He's used to this. This is nothing new to him. Knee mount, slides the knee in here. Knee on belly to the mount. Punch and punch.
Punching and punching.
Ground and pound.
Pounding him down.
Varelans can take a lot of punishment. He doesn't tap very fast or very easily. His pain tolerance is pretty high.
Looks like it. Would have to be in order to take that kind of punishment.
Look at how he's holding his arm and hitting. Just switching the angles, hitting all in every opening. Paul's trying to stay on his side. Baretto's just sitting on him and punching him.
I think earlier you said that this was the ultimate position for the top person to be in.
In the Varelans style fighting, knee mount or back positions are the prominent positions usually that you see most fighters become victorious from.
Now what's
Look at the elbows to the back of the head.
Ow. Look at that. Look at
Three
that.
elbows, he's just beating him.
You can hear the pouncing.
Unanswered blows. Varelans didn't tap, the ref broke it. That's it. Paul Varelans didn't tap, but the ref stopped it because he was hitting him over and over without answering any of those.
He looks like he's okay. Official time, 2 minutes, 35 seconds. Let's get some slow-mo replays here, see what happens.
Winner, Carlo Baretto.
There it is.
There's a slow-mo, knee mount, knee on the belly. Control, goes into the mount. Good balance, good base. Just punching him over and over. Watch here, elbows to the back of the head. Looks like he's set up for an arm lock.
Yes.
But the position was open to strike, so he hit him on the side of the head and goes back into the punching flurry.
He hit him with such ferocity you could hear his head smack like feeling a watermelon at the grocery store.
The back of the head causes the blackouts. The front of the head usually causes the cuts. And that's it.
These guys are getting a trophy. What's going on here?
Since this is a super fight, they give the winner of this event a trophy. Trophy was given by Roberto Leitao, and he was the promoter of the fight.
Dan Henderson versus Eric Smith, two Americans. Now, Eric, this is where your expertise comes in hand.
Dan Henderson's a Greco-Roman wrestler versus Smith, who is an American freestyle wrestler. They're both from America. It's going to be a good fight.
You said these guys
Two
know each other?
different styles, yeah, two different styles. This is Henderson coming out. You saw this fight before.
Dan Henderson, we do like him a lot, do we not?
Dan Henderson is notorious for his upper body throws. Real good at. Actually, he's a total wrestler, but he's famous for his upper body throwing. Greco-Roman being able to throw from all different areas on the upper body. Eric Smith being better at taking single legs, double legs, body tackles. Not as big on the upper body throws. This is going to be a good comparison analysis. This will be interesting to see too, also, if the fight and how the fight will go to the ground.
What are you saying, Eric?
Well, it's different. See, in Brazil, the Brazilian fighters in the Varelans style fights don't fight each other. So the Jiu-Jitsu doesn't fight the Jiu-Jitsu, and the Varelans or the Luta Libre doesn't fight the Luta Libre fighters. And here we have two Americans in Brazil, coming from America, coming from wrestling, from two different wrestling teams, Henderson being the Raw and Smith being the Hammer House, fighting each other. So basically it's wrestling club versus wrestling club.
American teams are having some influence on this whole sport.
This is good. It's good for the Brazilian crowd to see the sport. They don't really care. This is a real fight. Nice sprawl, shoots a double leg, picks him up. He's got him in the head and arm. Look at that. I know Henderson's got a tight choke.
What's he doing with him? How's he managing? Look at that.
Cranking his neck. Look, he's got the choke on. He's got him down. He's not. Oh, he didn't. He's out. He choked him out. He's out cold.
Unbelievable.
He just got revived. You can see him bounce.
That's
now
amazing.
he thinks he's still in the fight. See, he thinks he's still in the fight.
What happened
He
there?
fell asleep. He thought he was still fighting when he woke up. He doesn't know where he is or what happened.
That was quick.
Wow.
I'd like to see that again.
Can you imagine if they'd allow that in regular freestyle rules? Front choke, head and arm. You don't see that too often, especially from that position. Usually the guy that's picking him up will slam the person that's standing there choking. So the person, if they jump up in this position trying to choke, usually they'll get slammed on their back.
He just collapsed.
He just held him up.
Look at that.
Henderson's just got a strong grip on him. This is amazing. I'm surprised that he can actually choke him out with the arm in there like that. Henderson's obviously very strong.
Official time, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That was the quickest fight in this entire tournament.
I guess we're going to see another replay here. Let's look at that.
Shoots for a double, sprawls, picks up the head and arm, lifts him up. Notice the leg.
This is amazing. He just
Jumps
climbed up on him.
on
Look
him.
at that.
Just holds it tight, falls backwards, and finishes him. Look at here. He's still got
Continues
the
to
leg
hold,
ride. Has
keeps
the leg
hold on
ride.
him. That's right.
Double grapevine. Didn't even tap. He passed out. Didn't even have a chance
Arms
to tap
dropped.
out.
What was amazing is when he came to, when he was revived, he
Didn't
came
know where
right
he was
up.
at. Didn't know where he was at. The adrenaline was rolling. And since this is the lightweight tournament winner, the runner-up gets a trophy, nice cup, and the winner gets a bigger trophy, bigger cup.
Time for the finals of the heavyweights. And we have Kevin Randleman of the U.S. versus Tom Erickson of the U.S. Tell us about him, Eric.
Well, Austin, again, we have two wrestlers fighting each other. You don't see that too often in these types of events. It's kind of nice to see that the Americans aren't really afraid or shy to fight each other. They figure, listen, you know, whoever wins, may the better man win. As you can see here, he's followed by his trainer and his manager, Mark Coleman, who is the UFC champion. Kevin Randleman's a three-time NCAA double finalist and the two-time NCAA champion. And he's also the Universal Varelans champion.
Quite a track record, very strong track record.
Yes, he's
and his
very
opponent?
successful. His opponent, Tom Erickson, is a U.S. National Freestyle Champion, World Cup champion, and a 97 U.S. World Team member. Tom Erickson has got like a 40-pound weight advantage and a major height advantage on him.
And a serious attitude.
Serious.
He is focused.
Here we have two of the top world athletes fighting each other, battling it out. May the better man win.
How do you see this fight going? How are they going to approach this?
I'm excited to see it. I don't know. I can't speculate who's going to win.
Well, the door closes up. Here we go.
All I remember is the last thing you hear when you step into that ring is that door closing.
Quick. These are fast men.
Erickson being the aggressor of the two. Looks like Erickson wants to sock him. He's shooting. Yeah, Erickson's just trying to hit him. You can see he's definitely got the reach on him. Randleman looks like he's just waiting to shoot in for that. Yeah, there we go. There's the clinch. The inevitable. Front headlock.
Look at the power and strength of these two guys.
He's got a double overhook with the neck and the arm. Look at Randleman's holding him in the position here.
And look at the reach here. I mean,
One
look
little
at the
knee.
size.
Look at how the knee just opens the space up. Size makes a big difference here. Nice knee. Look at the knees squaring. Look at the shot. Oh! Oh, he just pummeled him. That's it. He's out. Look at his body just stiffened. He's out cold.
We're going to have to see the replays of this. Did he cut him? Is he bleeding?
They're getting his mouthpiece out. One knee to soften him up. Two knees. One right overhand. Uppercut. Nice collar tying to uppercut. Finishes him up with two shots on the ground. Look at his body. Look at his body. Look how stiff his body is.
Happened so fast the first time, I didn't even notice.
Hold his head and hit him. Followed up with two square shots. He was out when he hit the canvas. Square uppercut right there. That's what dropped him. He's already out. Two to follow. His head bounced off the mat. See how his head bounced off the mat?
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, he's bleeding. He's bleeding.
He's out. They're taking him out on a stretcher. They don't want to take him out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get taken out. Marcelo Bottinari, again, the sponsor, the promoter. He's the promoter of this event. Tom Erickson winning over Randleman.
You have the official fight time?
Official fight time for this event was 1 minute and 11 seconds. Winner by KO.
American
And look at the prize. Look what he got.
That's right. He got the trophy and the girl. Well, Eric, it's been quite an evening of fighting and quite a success for the Real American Wrestling, the Raw team. Once again, lightweight champ Dan Henderson, heavyweight champ Tom Erickson, super fight winner Carlos Baretto. Until next time, I'm Austin Keys with my pleasure to have you again, Eric Paulson.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks for having me.
We leave you some scenes from tonight's action and enjoy.
Enjoy, you guys.